Don't think. Feel. It is like a finger pointing to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger, or you miss all the heavenly glory. Do you understand?
Good morning, my friends. Okay, today's video here, we're going to talk about a schedule that I put together actually yesterday. I spent a lot of time going through this schedule. It was hard to choose active languages that I wanted to study actively, but here it is. So, everything is clear. Okay, so as you can see, this is the Polyglot Master Schedule. The Polyglot Master Schedules. So I have all of my active languages on this side, the number of hours I intend to study them, and then on this side I have my output time and YouTube videos, all this other stuff. But let's start over here with the chosen languages. Now, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have a total of 8 languages I intend to study actively. Okay. Cantonese. This is the main one I've been studying lately. Okay. I tend to put 2 hours. Now this is all input time, by the way. This time is just referring to the input time. Okay, active input. So for Cantonese, 2 hours. For the rest of them, Estonian, German, Italian, French, Spanish, Hindi, Brazilian, Portuguese will be 1 hour. Now let me break this down for you. Tell you guys what I'm going to be doing during that time. So let's start. Cantonese for the 2 hours. Let's say the first hour, what I'm going to be doing is listening to something like the news or some sort of talk shows. I want to listen to stuff like that for at least an hour. Okay. The second hour, which is going to be broken down into 30 minutes each. So the first 30 minutes for Cantonese, what I plan to do is read and listen at the same time. Okay, you guys have seen the resources that I have for Cantonese, the reading books, and I tend to use the Wedding Bells book for reading and listening at the same time. So I will do that for 30 minutes. Follow along while it's playing. Do that for 30 minutes. The remaining 30 minutes, I intend to write out the dialogue. Okay, while I'm writing out the dialogue, I will listen to the dialogue. So while that dialogue is playing, I will be writing down everything in that dialogue. Okay. Now the thing about Cantonese, the characters are traditional, so I don't know if I'm gonna go. I don't know. It shouldn't take more than 30 minutes to finish that. But it's going to take some time for me to write everything out. But that's what's going to happen for my input time for Cantonese. Okay? So again, the first hour will be just for listening to shows, talk shows, whatever it is, short movies. The second hour will be basically for writing, reading, and listening. Okay, writing, reading, and listening. So the listening, you might as well say that for the full 2 hours, I'm listening to something, which is great. Okay, so that's what's going to happen for Cantonese. Now, if you look down at the other languages, you see 1 hour. As I explained to you, the same thing is going to happen with these here for the hour. That 1 hour I did for Cantonese where I listened, I listened, followed along, and I wrote something down for the whole hour. That's what I'm going to do with these. So for example, Estonian, first 30 minutes, I'm going to listen and follow along to the dialogue. The remaining 30 minutes, I'm going to copy the dialogue down and listen to it while I'm doing that. Same thing is going to happen with all the other languages. Okay, that's my input time. Now, as far as output, I plan to do this at the end of the week. Now, it can be something like chatting, a face-to-face conversation with someone outside the home or in public, or it can be Skype. Okay, this is what I'll be doing at the end of the week for these languages. All right. So I'll spend the week doing input Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday, and then at the end of the week, perhaps Friday, I will go and spend the same time for output. So for example, 2 hours, I may go to a chat room. Okay, as I was saying, I may go to a chat room, for example, Cantonese. I'll go to a chat room and I'll spend like maybe an hour or so, or 2 hours chatting in the chat room, or spend 1 hour in the chat room or forums and another hour chatting with someone over on Skype. Okay? Same thing with these other languages. I will spend 1 hour chatting with someone. The reason why I will spend more time for Cantonese because that's the one I'm mainly studying. That's the strongest one right now. Okay? Now I should mention Cantonese and something about Cantonese and Hindi. I've talked about this before. I have a partner, my buddy Benson from Macau. I meet with him twice a week on Skype to practice Cantonese. And recently we've decided to study Hindi together. So we will be doing that for 4 hours a week. So right there, that's a lot of time for practicing Cantonese and Hindi. Okay? So that's 4 hours a week there. That's a lot of output, especially for Cantonese. So, what else I have to mention here? Output time, we talked about output time. My active input time. YouTube videos. Now, you guys know I like to make YouTube videos to practice my languages and whatnot, my reading practice, all that good stuff. I intend to continue to do that. So, as before, reading practice videos, spoken reports, multi-language practice videos, and battlefield videos. Now, the reading practice videos you guys have seen where I write the text out on the board, okay, and I'll read it twice. The first time I'll read it at a very slow speed. And the reason why I do that is because I know there are other people out there who are not only they're learning, they may be learning the same language I'm learning, and I like to go slow for myself. And then I'll read it at normal speed the second time. So those are the reading practice videos. You guys have seen those in the past. The second will be the spoken reports. Now, I've only made one spoken report and that was for Cantonese. I still have to make another one. But basically, those spoken reports, I have to pretty much use. My goal is to use everything I've learned as far during the week in terms of vocabulary. So I have to put something together before I put the video up. Okay, based on the vocabulary I've learned. So this is basically reinforcing the vocabulary I've learned from the books. Okay, those are my spoken reports. All right, multi-language practice videos. I may use like before you guys see me do like the Muppet Babies video. I still have those. I have some more of those coming out. Those type of videos will be coming out. Okay, I will continue with those type of videos. Battlefield videos. Those are basically the videos where I go to a restaurant and I practice with native speakers. I've made a few of those already. So that's what that is. That's what's going to happen. This is the Polyglot Master Schedule. Now, as far as other languages that I've studied in the past and whatnot, I want to talk a little bit about those. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk about that in the next part. I'm not going to do it right now. So what I'm going to do is take my camera into the other room and show you guys that schedule I made before and explain to you what I'm going to do with those other languages. So give me a few seconds here. Okay, we're back in action. Now, this is basically my list for the non-active languages, alright? And like I said, I've talked about these before. Now, first of all, I should say, non-active to me is when I'm not really using the language to have oral practice with someone, not so much chatting. This is non-active to me because I strongly believe in output. Of course, we need input, but I strongly believe when you're working on a language at the beginning stage, you need to be out there using it. You need to be out there using everything you've learned. This is very important. And why? Why is it so important? Because it keeps you motivated. Okay, when you speak to native speakers, they give you this source of motivation to continue doing it. You want to learn more and get back out there right away. So this is why I put a strong emphasis on output. But again, we need input before we do output. That's very important. So back to this. The non-active languages basically is just dealing with the listening, the reading, and writing. As I explained to you guys before in the previous video, what I would do for an hour, that right there is something that I would do with my non-active languages. Okay? So for example, let me show you these lists I have here. Okay? So, as you can see, I have you see Georgian, Samoan, Bulgarian. Those marks, basically, the parentheses are basically chapters of a certain book. So the first chapter, I'll spend a week listening to the dialogue. So my goal is to get 7 marks. I want to get 7 marks by the end of the week. Okay? I won't move on until I feel comfortable with that dialogue. So this is what I will basically do with, let me see here. I'm sorry. This is what I'm going to do with my non-active languages, but they probably won't be studied every day. So let's say today I got my time in for my active languages. I got all my time in for those, and I say, wow, I want to listen to something else that I'm not really studying actively. I'll choose something like Tibetan, okay, or Latvian, one of those languages. I may listen to that. Like I explained before about the hour, I will do the same thing for Tibetan. I will spend 30 minutes listening, reading while following along, and then spend the remaining 30 minutes writing the dialogue out when listening to it. Once that hour is up, that's it for that. If it was chapter 6, I'll put a mark down for chapter 6. Now tomorrow I may not do that for Tibetan. I may not study Tibetan tomorrow. After I get all my time in for my active languages, I may want to do something like, let's see, Hebrew. Okay, I may want to do something for Hebrew, so I will do the same thing. I will spend an hour doing what I just explained to you guys for Tibetan. I will do the same thing for Hebrew. So this is what I would do for my non-active languages. Now, not only will I do that, I will be making YouTube videos for reading practice for those languages as well. As long as I have 7 marks, though. I have to have 7 marks before I put up a reading practice video. Alright? So that's what's going on here. This is the master schedule. And I'm going to follow this schedule for a while to see how it works out. But it should be pretty good. I like how I put this together in general, as far as the listening and keeping track of keeping track of the days. This is very good. So yeah, that's my updated schedule. And what I would do is post that last video I made. I will post that as a response to this video so you guys can see it. I know there are many more people visiting my channel. You guys probably haven't seen it, so I'll post it in the description or just as a video response so you guys can check it out. So yep, that's the end of this video. If any of you guys have updated schedules, make a video response, share it with us. So thanks for viewing. The video, and I look forward to you guys' comments or video responses. Okay, I forgot to mention something here. I forgot to mention something about the non-active languages and the active languages. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, well, you now have your active language list. What about the non-active? When do you intend to make those non-active languages become active? Now, as I said before, I don't like to really put time limits on languages now. I just like to enjoy them. However, there's a point to where I do intend on making some of the non-active languages become the active languages, and that's when I feel comfortable. When I feel comfortable in the language, then let's say German or Spanish. I use German for example. Once I become comfortable in German, then I can I will feel comfortable taking German out and put that in a non-active list, and then choose something like maybe Irish, put that in the active list, you see. So once I become comfortable, then that's when I would do that. But until then, I will continue to enjoy the language until I become comfortable, and then I will make that exchange. Now, what is comfortable? I'm not going to talk about what comfortable is in this video. I'll make a separate video and talk about that. But that's what my plan is. So, that's it. And let me know if you guys have any questions about anything.